Max Fried to the Cubs. Let's talk about it next.
You are Locked On Cubs, your daily Chicago Cubs podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
You are Locked On Cubs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Alongside Sam Olber, I'm Matt Cozy. Sam and I are lifelong fans taking our passion into a discussion with you on all things Cubs. Thank you for being part of the show and making us your first listen today. And the best way you can help us grow the show is to listen every day, like the video, and comment anything below. Today's episode is presented by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. The Cubs need to add starting pitching this off season. Do they need to add offense? Of course, but they need to improve in multiple other areas. And one of those is in the rotation. For Monday's episode, we talked about Roki Sasaki, and winds are swirling from multiple directions on Max Fried, as multiple reports have linked Fried to the Cubs. Fried has spent his entire career with the Braves, where this past year he posted a 3.25 ERA. He's a two-time All-Star, three-time Gold Glove winner, and 2021 World Series champion. He missed some time in 2023 with a forearm strain, but otherwise he's put up really, really good seasons each of the last 5 years, including finishing second for NL Cy Young in 2022. Sam, by all indications, while there's mystery on Roki, they're absolutely in on Max Fried.
Matt, I'd like to do a little exercise in prepping for this show today. I'm going to name you 3 career ERAs, and I'd like you to guess the pitchers for me. Okay, one of them
active players, or
they're all 3 active players. Yes, and I'll give you a hint. The lowest active ERA with like a minimum is Clayton Kershaw. He's not on this list. He's lower than these guys. Yeah. One of them is an active career ERA, guys, 262 wins, 147 losses with a 3.30. The other guy is 216 and 112 with a 3.16. And the other guy is 73 and 36 with the lowest of the 3 at a 3.07. Care to guess?
One of them is either Verlander or Scherzer, right?
So both of them are Scherzer, and the lowest one at 3.07 is Max Fried.
Wow.
So this guy's really
intriguing.
This guy's really good. Obviously, he doesn't have the career longevity that those guys have. He's only 30. But in his 8 years, he's been about as good as anybody in the business.
Right.
Like you said, a great fielder. And really, Matt, just the exact type of guy that this front office likes to covet. He has a winning background. He seems like a pretty low-maintenance guy. He has a lot of just playoff experience. You know what I mean? Like a John Lester type of guy. And then the consistency. I like, and I know wins and losses don't matter, but from 2019 and on, 17-6 with a 4.02, 7-0 with a 2.25, 14-7, 3.04, 14-7, 2.48, 8-1, 2.55 when he missed some time, as you just mentioned, and then last year 11-10 with a 3.25. This guy's as consistent as it gets. He's really reliable. His strikeout numbers are the exact same for most of his career. He fields his position beautifully, as you mentioned. And he's one of those guys the Cubs, I think, feel comfortable throwing a big bag to of money because you just know exactly what you're going to get year in and year out for the most part.
I think it's a great match for them.
Yeah,
I really do. I don't think it's a coincidence that he's been linked to the Cubs for the last couple weeks. And really in a strong fashion. Like you look at MLB trade rumors, for example. I mean, first of all, the Athletic guys have been on this. MLB trade rumors, 3 of those 4 guys predicted the Cubs to sign him. And there have been other reports or predictions or theories as well out there, including him with a package deal with his catcher, which we're going to explain that later in the show. We also have trivia later today. I have seen no problem with 3 lefties at the top of the rotation. I mean, I feel like I'm having some deja vu from last winter when Snell was on the market, and he is again. Montgomery. So I've already come to terms with multiple lefties in the rotation, and if they go 1, 2, 3 with lefties in terms of quality, that's fine. I think to try to break that up would be good, and I have an idea for that in a minute. But again, if you go Steele, Imanaga, Fried in whatever order, then Tyone is pushed to the number 4 spot. That 5 spot is up for grabs. And unless they get another starter, which, by the way, they could.
Oh, sure.
The Cubs are a great match with the Seattle Mariners, Sam.
Yeah.
If they want to trade a position player or two, I think the Cubs could get Logan Gilbert. Can you imagine if they went Steele, Gilbert, Fried, and Imanaga, Tyone?
And then their offense would get better too, because some of the guys that they would trade over there would open up a spot for Matt Shaw, who's right now one of the best hitters on this, one of the best young hitters on this planet Earth.
Right. And then you have Assad, Wicks, and whoever are the other dudes, either in the pen or getting starter innings at AAA Iowa. But if they have that starting 5, no disrespect, I'm not looking for the whereabouts of Assad anymore or Wicks. Okay, I'm excited about some of the other guys, but listen, that'd be a fantastic rotation. You could do it both trade and free agency. In free agency, I think Fried, aside from this is all excluding Roki now, but Fried is one of the best matches for them.
Yeah.
And I wanted to also point out he's friends with Dansby.
Yeah, and like, when they were trying to win in 15, 16, they brought in Lester. They brought in Lackey. They brought in Zobrist. And he's under that umbrella. Do you know what I mean?
Okay,
I mean, he's a much better pitcher than Lackey was at that time. He's more towards a Lester, but just a guy, playoff experience. He's pitched in the biggest games. He's pitched in the World Series. He has a ring. And yeah, it's a great fit. He's friends with Swanson. I think the Cubs value that he's coming from a really good organization in Atlanta. And so, yeah, I mean, it's felt like the perfect fit. I mean, we've heard Fried Cubs stuff since maybe like July of last year.
Yeah.
It was the first time, July of this year. So yeah, it makes a whole lot of sense. Again, I'm still a little bit, I think every episode I'm just going to remind the people that, hey, we're out on Juan Soto, and that's not okay with me.
That's fine.
But this is, if they add Max Fried, that's a major addition that'll make this pitching staff better. And as we've discussed for a long time, just because it was really good last year, it was really good for a reason, partly because of performance, partly because of conditions. They need to, as we always say, good organizations anticipate. They don't react as much. So the Cubs need to anticipate that there may be some regression with their pitching and get that fixed. And getting a guy like Max Fried, that would do that, because he's a major addition. He's a guy that you comfortably put out there in game 1 of a playoff series and you feel good about it.
Yeah, they finished 6th in starter ERA in the whole sport, 2nd in the NL. But they need to add, because look what happened when we said, the offense, they were 6th in runs. Well, that didn't turn out great this year, bringing back the same squad. Projected contract, MLB trade rumors, 6 years for $156. Fangraphs says 5 years for $140. Which I think is pleasing to the Cubs. I think 5 years is like what they prefer.
Of course.
And anything between, and the AAVs, between anything 24, 28.
Yeah, we know.
I don't think that's egregious.
We know their sweet spot. Anything between 23 and 30 in the 5-6 year range. That's our max.
Right.
That's our max.
Since he did receive a qualifying offer from the Braves and the Cubs irresponsibly, I want to remind everybody, went over the luxury tax in 2024. Remember, they went over the tax by $800,000. The Cubs will lose 2 draft picks plus $1 million international bonus pool money if they do end up signing a player who received a qualifying offer like Fried.
It's a great point.
And that could impact the Roki pursuit as well.
Sure.
Because they go from the $6 million to $5 million, whatever.
Yep.
Fried's catcher the last several years with the Braves was Travis d'Arnaud, And we're going to explain next why the Cubs could target him as well. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Whether it's a Cubs game, comedy show, or a concert, I love going to live events. And now Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets for your favorite live events even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. With clear last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. The experience of searching for and then buying tickets on Game Time is simple. Plus, Game Time is the only ticketing app that gives you complete peace of mind with your purchase. See the view from your seat before you buy, so you know exactly what to expect when you arrive. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it?
It's game time.
No other catcher has lined up in front of Max Fried more than Travis d'Arnaud. On top of that, Fried's lowest career ERA is with d'Arnaud at 2.62 in 68 games. d'Arnaud has been part of a timeshare at catcher his entire career, which is what he would be on the Cubs with Miguel Amaya, and he's performed really well in that type of role, including an all-star selection for him in 2022. This past year, he hit .238 with 15 home runs in 99 games. He does offer that slug tool, as he hit 11 homers the year before and 18 the year before that. Sam, maybe the Cubs can sign both of these guys within a matter of days, like they did before 2015, as you mentioned, with Lester and Ross.
Yeah, d'Arnaud is the exact type of catcher they're looking for. I don't think they're looking for a guy to totally take over the job. I think they're looking for a guy that is fine splitting time with Amaya. And if Amaya struggles like he did in April, May, and June of last year, that is used to and comfortable playing on a daily basis and has the capabilities of doing that. And so I think d'Arnaud fits that perfectly. I have him on my radar, whether they sign Fried or not. But I think the combo deal would be beneficial. I think the Cubs would be a better baseball team if they were to get Fried and d'Arnaud as a package deal. I think Fried, as we talked about, helps them immensely, and I think d'Arnaud would be no small addition and really would help them on the margins if I'm being honest.
If they sign those guys, and let's say they add a Clay Holmes or someone of that ilk,
yeah,
and again they remain static offensively, does that improve the projection? Do they hit the 86.5?
So you're saying Fried, d'Arnaud, Holmes, that's it for offense? And leave offense the same?
Yeah. No external additions, but knowing that Matt Shaw could be in there.
Fried, Holmes,
and d'Arnaud.
And
yeah. Those are the main ads.
I think it'd be about 85.5, 86.5, right in that realm. Yeah.
Well, that's proof that can't be it.
I'd say the 85.5.
Yeah, they got to do more, and that's not breaking news. We know that. I just wanted to check in on that because
something's wrong with my allergies.
I will be really in November.
Something's up. It's been all day. I've been having problems. Go ahead.
Might have to maybe because it gets darker out or something earlier.
No, I just don't. Something's going on.
Maybe some dust around your place.
Yeah, maybe something like that. So
okay. Well, and Thanksgiving's coming up 2 weeks from Thursday already. Thanksgiving, Sam.
Mm-hmm.
So back to Max Fried and Travis d'Arnaud. I'm really excited about this possibility.
Are you really excited?
I'm excited.
Okay.
Did I say really? I'll have to check the tape.
Yes, you did say really. You did say really.
So I like the possibility of this.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't, you can't get past the financial part.
Yep.
I can't get past the fact
that they're going to run this back on offense.
they need to add another offensive piece.
Yeah, you can't get past that. And
they have to add a hitter, and it can't just be Matt Shaw.
It might just be Matt Shaw.
And you know what? I'm not going to be. And again, it's not about Matt Shaw. The Cubs did this to themselves. Like Matt Shaw, what if he is that piece? Great. But this situation is too complicated. You shouldn't have to rain on my Max Fried parade. Like that should be celebrated.
Look,
I do wonder more and more if that offensive addition is going to be in the trade market. I really think.
Oh, I quite think so. Yes,
but I do believe the Fried Darno would add a couple wins, maybe 4 or 5. The last contract he signed with the Braves, this is Darno now, was 2 years, 16 M's.
Yeah, a little cheaper.
But the Braves declined that last week, the second season.
Yeah, I think I think you're looking for like a 2-year, maybe.
Would it be the same deal?
I was thinking like a 2-year, maybe like an 11-12.
Fine.
Oh, fine, absolutely.
Fine, especially if they get Fried. And remember the
Cubs.
Well,
Fried's if he's a part of it, you can give him 2 years, 16 if he's going to bring Fried over.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I think that's not.
But I don't think
they're
reach
gonna, to say that.
Yeah, and I don't think he'll be that high.
To remind you, Fangraphs projects the Cubs with about 48 M's to spend, but that number should increase between now and next Friday, when players have to be offered a contract or not.
Right.
Next Friday, the 22nd. Is the non-tender deadline. So that number should go up when Madrigal gets sent out, Wisdom, Alzolay, and others.
Can I share something with you real quick?
Yep.
This is not about the
Was it about Eberflus's phone line?
No, please. Hey, listen, there's nobody happier with the Bears saga than Mr. Ricketts. He looks like the greatest owner in sports compared to what's going on over on the lakefront. I just wanted to let you know, my friend Anthony, a childhood friend of mine, sent me a text yesterday, just randomly, was watching our show.
Oh.
And he said, has anyone on the show ever commented that Matt looks identical to Kirk Cousins?
I've gotten that before, but I don't know if I've seen it in our comments.
We've had a couple. There's been a couple in the comments. Yeah. And I think identical's strong, but there is a resemblance between the two men.
It's a bad take.
So,
hey, he's a rich man.
What?
He's a rich man.
The Falcons, are they good this year?
They got a good record, but nobody believes in them. Go ahead.
Later this week, we are going to start to tap into the hot stove in terms of the bats. I want us to dream about Willie Adames.
Yeah.
I want us to dream about others as well.
Can we dream about Juan Soto or?
Well,
no.
I'd like to.
I think, and then the trade targets are really interesting.
Yeah.
Because I just,
You liked my trade targets from last week.
Oh, that was the best part of the offseason.
Have you warmed up on Adolis Garcia?
No, I'm cold on that.
You like the Kyle Tucker one, though.
Of course.
Yeah.
And I even had some guys in the comments convince me that maybe it would take just Paredes and Casey and then maybe like a lower level prospect for a guy like Tucker. Maybe because
I think it would take definitely a major league everyday player and a top prospect.
Yeah, and then maybe like a lottery ticket.
2 others.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I think it'd be a 4 for 1.
Yeah. No, that was great. I really have been into that. But look, back to the point. I think Fried and Darno in a vacuum make this team a lot better. I think if you're right now, let's say right now, hypothetically, if the over-under for next year was 83.5, because that's what I think it would be. If the season started right now, it'd be 83.5. I think adding
it might be lower, but go ahead.
Yeah, it could be a little lower.
Probably 80.5.
No, not that.
81.
81. Whatever. I think these guys could take you to like an 84, 85-ish over under. Just those two.
I think so.
Because the Darno thing would help a lot.
Coming up next, I do have some battery-related trivia. It's the pitcher and catcher trivia. Stay tuned.
Oh. This episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Get ready to tackle the NFL action with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. because right now new customers can bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets if you win. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place live bets on the NFL all in one place. So do you get a hunch in the middle of the game? You could check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. I did this last night. I bet the Lions live when they got down. I got great odds, and they came back and won. That's a real football team up in Detroit, whereas this Saturday, the Bears are 6-point underdogs at home. This has the
They
possibility.
play on Saturday.
I mean,
Wow.
Sunday, sorry.
Oh.
This Sunday, they have a chance to be it could be one of the darkest days in the history of this franchise.
After the last 3 games, that this will be the darkest.
Well, because the Packers are going to be in town. People are upset that the coach is still in place. There could be like a lot of chants and things like that. So
that's on them.
Absolutely. And, the Packers -6 looks like good value. Just visit FanDuel.com, America's #1 sportsbook, to join today.
We referenced David Ross and John Lester signing before the 2015 season earlier in the program. And Sam, David Ross did catch the most innings for John Lester in Lester's career.
Yeah.
In no particular order, who rounds out the top 5 in innings caught for the former Cubs lefty, who also pitched for the Red Sox, A's, Nationals, and Cardinals?
Ooh. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So not just for the Cubs, everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah. Ross is number 1 by a good margin.
Is Contreras on there?
Yeah, he's number 2.
Okay.
Go Cubs.
Am I doing the top 5, you said?
Yeah, you got 2 of them already. You just recently watch that documentary.
I don't want any hints.
Oh,
I'm good.
Shoot.
Yeah.
I just want to see if I knock
Sorry
out.
about that.
I just want to see if I knock out any Cubs. I don't think Montero would be on there. Jason Varitek.
That's correct.
Okay.
2 others. Wow, you're doing really well.
No, it's not that well at all.
It's a bad take.
No, he was only with the A's for a bit, so it's not an A. So it's another Red Sox.
And he was with the Nats and Cardinals for only a cup of coffee too.
Yeah, it's more Red Sox guys. Because with the Cubs, it's just got to be Contreras and Ross.
You're right.
Yeah. So it's another Red Sox guy.
2 Red Sox guys. One.
Yeah,
more obvious than the other.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking about, because it's early, so I'm just thinking of their catcher platoon.
Well, it's almost 7 p.m. Central.
Was it? It's almost 7 p.m. Central.
You said it's early. So.
Oh, was it like Doug Mankiewicz was a first baseman, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
Yeah. Oh, man.
But it's another person with a long name.
Oh, Saltalamacchia?
Yes.
Go Cubs.
I wouldn't have got that without a hint.
Okay. This is a former Indian and Red Sox. Longtime Indian.
Napoli? No, he's
No.
he's not a catcher. A long time
Switch hitter.
Carlos Santana is the first. Roberto Perez played there. I'm going back. I don't think I have it.
Victor Martinez.
I wouldn't have got it.
Yep.
Wouldn't have got it at all. Victor Martinez. I feel
Yeah, is
like
that an odd one?
why do I identify him with the Tigers? Am I wrong on that?
I identify him with the Indians.
Wait.
Let me look into
No,
this.
I could be thinking of a different guy.
Okay.
No, yeah, he's got a Tiger hat on here. Oh, no, you're right.
Let's see.
No, you're
8
right.
years with the Indians, 7 Tigers, 2 Red Sox.
No, you're right. You're right.
But he must have caught Lester enough in those 2 years.
That's a great trivia question.
Thank you.
And I only got 3 out of 5. Oh, gee. Hey, 3 out of 5, I'd be in the Bears Hall of Fame.
The plan for Wednesday is to start brainstorming where Willie Adames fits on this club.
Yeah, and
Fangraphs has him the number 2 free agent behind Soto.
And maybe we could spend the last half of that show talking about him and the Mets.
Oh, no. Why would we do that? Ryan Finkelstein could do that. So he's the Locked On Mets host.
All right. Well, sorry I missed the trivia questions wrong. Max Fried will help the Cubs a
Give
lot.
yourself more credit.
Travis d'Arnaud will help the Cubs on the margins. I would love to see both of them. Roki would be great. And again, at the end of the day, This is one of those things. It's bad here right now with the Cubs, but 83 wins. We look like the 30s, 40s, 50s, and 20s Yankees compared to the football team in this town. So,
well, at least, and I do think at least Jed's available. I know you don't like me saying that, but at least he talks.
No,
okay.
I like you saying
he doesn't
that.
hide in a corner like Arturis or McCaskey or these other frauds on the South Side.
Yeah.
He's available.
Yeah.
And for as much as you Cubs fans don't like him or think he's doing a bad job, at least he's not a coward like all these other executives.
Wow, that's strong.
Jed's not a coward.
What does Kevin Warren do? Give us a call. 3.
Well, he is not building a stadium.
Yeah, 312. So,
Yeah.
Bonus question: Would you lose some of your love for baseball if Soto and Roki sign with the Dodgers?
If Soto goes to the Dodgers, I will be immensely disappointed.
Thank you so much for checking out this edition of Locked On Cubs. You give us 20 to 30 minutes. We'll give you all things Cubs with a laugh or two along the way. Be sure to hit subscribe on YouTube, smash the like button for the algorithm, and leave a 5-star review on Apple, Spotify, and everywhere you get your podcast. Willie Adamas is up next on our hot stove sheet, or whatever you want to call it. He's Sam Olber. I'm Matt Cozy. This is Locked On Cubs.
See ya.